right, what's happening, folks? It's episode 174. The Raspies are here. If you're talking, Mark, you're muted. Oh, okay. All right. Me. Get all the phlegm out. Me. I want to apologize to everybody in advance if I try to catch myself and mute while I cough a couple times tonight. If I don't catch myself, I apologize for coughing in your ear. I guess I should probably say that again when we actually start.
Coffer. You like my background, huh?
That's hella funny. That's hella funny.
I had to give an ode, man.
That's so funny. Okay.
My boy Johnny asked me to be one of his groomsmen, so
Oh,
he gave me
cool.
a little shot with the little whatever.
Right on.
Little,
You too, huh?
little tequila, so
Nice, you too.
I should be might as well just take a little bit tonight,
Nice.
right? Why not?
Yeah.
Whatever. I mean,
Our boy Chris Canario asked us last week to be groomsmen in his wedding, so got to start searching for, Airbnbs and flights and stuff out to Durango, Colorado.
Sean also.
Yeah, Sean, and then Joe, Forrest, and then I think some family. I think, I forgot, but I'm one of them. That's all that matters to me.
There it is.
All right, let's do it. Episode 174. Welcome everybody in. Let's get the intro started. There's a dog barking in the background, so I don't know if I can drown that out in editing. So let's do it. Yeah.
I don't even hear the damn dog.
Oh, I do. But yeah, a little under the weather, but that's why I am inside tonight, so that way I don't die tomorrow. Although Danielle told me to record outside, so that way I get worse and I have to work from home tomorrow.
Damn, everyone's messed up.
Mm-hmm.
My hair's messed up.
You get me a spit cup. All right, we are good to go. Let's start recording this intro. I am recording on Skype. Okay, let's do it. Let's go 10 seconds of silence in 3, 2, and 1. Hello again, everybody, and welcome to a brand new issue of the Comic Bookies podcast, episode 174, coming to you live right now on YouTube or wherever you get your podcast. Thank you so much for joining us. This week in comics, Mark is back in the studio, so we have a lot to get into. A heavy week in DC, but we also have some Boom Studios, Marvel, and Image, to name a few. And over in news, The Last of Us gets a huge premiere on HBO Max. Alien TV series begins production. One of my favorite mobile games right now, Marvel Snap, gets a huge upgrade. And Mr. Justin Roiland, co-creator of Rick and Morty, is in some hot water. And over in sports, we are big NFL this week. Our local team, San Francisco 49ers, are into the next round against the Dallas Cowboys. We will discuss all of this weekend's games in the NFL Divisional round. And Manchester United is doing quite well right now, so we do a little check-in on the EPL. But all that and more on a brand new episode of the Comic Bookies podcast. Come one, come all. Let's do this thing. All right. And there is the intro. Ready to go, Mark? Just give me the word and we're going.
The bird.
Bird is the word.
Bird. Let's do it, baby.
All right. Going back live in 3, 2. Hold on. I need to hand my wife her teeth. No, her little retainer things. Hand my wife her dentures. All right. Going back live in 3, 2, and 1. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Comic Bookies podcast here live on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts. Again, my name is Mike, a.k.a. Mr. McStuffiness over here. Feeling a little under the weather, but we are still here for you. Gone out of the saddle is Sean. He's got probably the same thing we all do, and back from his little stint being sick is Mr. Mark Fagundes, co-host of the Comic Bookies podcast. Before we get into episode 174, we are brought to you by Treasure Island Comics in Fremont, California. Tomorrow, Wednesday, January 18th, 2023 is New Comic Book Day, so go see Alex if you're in the local area, or go check out your local comic book store. But either way, Alex is open Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays, and go and get your books. And man, I cannot wait to show these, Mark, later on in the comic book section, but we have added 2 brand new books to this giveaway that I'm doing this weekend. Man, first of all, how are you, sir?
What is up? What is up, brother? What is up? Cause up. Battle. Although I feel like this is the most unprepared I've been for a episode in a while, just due to the fact of being sick and out last week, and then just today I was literally all day in the big city by the bay of San Francisco, dealing with some appointments for my mom and whatnot. And man, they just took forever. I literally left at like 10 in the morning. Thought I'd be back around 4 or 5. Didn't get back till 7:30. Had to get Batman in for a little review here and just, just hop in the saddle real quick, set up. Had some technical difficulties with some computer stuff, but I'm here and I'm going to deliver as I always try to do for the fans and just try to make it a good one. But yeah, finally getting over the rain here in the Bay Area. It's been dumping for so many days since Christmas, but beautiful day. I couldn't have asked for a better day to actually go into the city. Clear as hell. You could see the whole Bay Area from the Bay Bridge, and it was really, really beautiful. So that was really cool to do. And got to hang out with my dad as well and take him around the city. He's a little bit older now, so he doesn't drive in there anymore, but still likes to experience it. So it was fun to take him there, and just, excited to dwindle down on some of these books. My schedule's been a little bit weird lately, a little bit off with being sick last week. I didn't pick up my books, so I'm going to have 2 weeks worth of books waiting for me at Treasure Island when I head out there this week. I got 2 books left of the 17 that I got, but I read some and ready to discuss, ready to talk about this NFL. Obviously, college is in our review, but NFL is still here. We're down to the final 8, and it's going to be good. But, man, how are you, brother? You fighting a little cold as well?
It's just something, like a little stuffiness and then like a random cough. I'm not sure if, I got it at work, last week, but it's nothing too serious, like nothing in the chest really, or, it's just that constant, feeling of like a stuffy nose. You got to blow your nose or you got to hawk up something, or whatever. So
what I get, brother, is I get like the pressure, like the sinus pressure.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's the worst. It's like it builds up in the ears, and sometimes I have to take like that not the over the counter, but the Sudafed where you actually got to show your ID,
oh, right.
Like the good one, and it's just like you feel it like decongest, and my ears like, dude, I get that bad a lot, sinus and sinus pressure. So that's the worst that I deal with. But
yeah, like whenever I get the cold, I usually don't get anything sinus wise as far as like hurting, but man, when I got COVID back in June of last year, that was the worst symptom. I had hardly any symptoms, but for a full 36 to 48 hours, right up here, right behind the eyes, right in the forehead, right up here, oh dude, it hurts so bad. But yeah, I mean, no, but I'm okay. It's nothing that's going to keep me away from work tomorrow, whatever, so we're good. Yeah, I'm really excited about this week because we have tons of news about our own giveaway. You said that college football is in the rearview mirror. When we get to sports in a little bit, we have something that's looking forward to, as far as NASCAR, some big news that, personally to us at the Comic Bookies podcast that just happened a couple of days ago with you, Mark. So
I'd actually like to congratulate you too, because I've been sick, right? I've been whatever, but I have been seeing you been able to put in your work for the shorts, and you've been posting and trying to get these contests going,
right,
as well as getting the contest going, finishing up with the Comic Bookies NFL Super Mini contest that we had. So congratulations, man. You've been putting in the work. And once I get better and feel a little bit better, and of course, my favorite sport, NASCAR season starting up. So got to do a little bit more on that front too. And like you mentioned, man, try to, come up with some extra stuff, some extra content we can for the fans. So you got trying to get on it, just got to get a little bit better and pass this little hump that we got going here. But the springtime's going to be great. Looking forward for it, man. But congratulations. Thank you for your hard work for the podcast,
man. I mean,
brother.
Honestly, the shorts have been the best thing for us. Like when they announced the shorts, I was like, dude, I can put my little mic in my t-shirt and I can think of a short or whatever, do something real quick. And as long as it's not like me going to certain hella different places and piecing it together, if it's just me announcing something or revealing something, bro, the whole process takes 5-10 minutes. It's not hard at all, And then with this contest, I might as well go ahead and announce the giveaway for people who don't know, who don't follow us on social media, if it's only for, the podcast wise. But right now we're giving away not one, not two, not three, but 12 different books at the end of this week. So we have a contest running right now on Instagram. It's one of those ones where all you have to do is, follow us, follow Treasure Island Comics, our sponsor, like the post, and then comment 2 friends who you think would like these books. And it's a bunch of number ones from a bunch of different publishers. But we just announced yesterday that we're giving away this thing right here. A Disney 100th anniversary variant cover of Amazing Spider-Man number 17. It's basically all of Mickey, Minnie, Donald, Pluto, Goofy, and Daisy as it's like a what if they were the Avengers, and this sweet trade paperback of the first full story from Jeff Johns and Gary Frank, Brad Anderson, Geiger. So this whole first 6 issues of the book Geiger, we have Junkyard Joe going on right now in that whole universe. So thoroughly excited to give that away to some lucky winner.
That's going to be a good one. Yeah. Whoever wins that one's going to be excited because, the whole first arc of obviously a book that, has a lot of talking behind it. And, a lot of people like it. I'm kind of, my take on it, just a little different from my liking, but it is a big book. And if you get to read the whole 6 arcs, maybe it could propel one of the lucky winners to maybe read Junkyard Joe and some of the other stuff Mr. Johns is putting out there.
I think that's a big thing, is not only the number ones, right, to get people started on a certain story, but also if a grand prize is like a 100th anniversary of something, like a bigger one or a trade, so that way you don't have to, it's not just getting 1 issue, you're getting all 6. And so that way kind of the legwork, half the story you've already read for free if you're the lucky winner. So I'm really excited to give these away over the weekend and then get them out to the folks sometime next week. But yeah, let's get into some books, bro. So we have, I think I had 6 to read yesterday. So coming out this week over in DC, congratulations to Tom Taylor over at DC. Nightwing, 100 issues tomorrow. So Nightwing 100 comes out. The Flash 791. Batman Superman World's Finest number 11. One of our favorite kind of ongoing one-shots right now, Mark. Batman One Bad Day Bane comes out tomorrow. And Batgirl's 14. Over on the Marvel side, we have Venom 15, The Hulk 11, Immortal X-Men 10, Punisher 9, Strange number 10, and Wasp comes out with a brand new story. That number 1 hits the shelves. Boom Studios, House of Slaughter, number 11, and Image, What's the Furthest Place from Here, number 10, I Hate Fairyland, number 3, and Nightclub, number 2. Kind of a slow week for comics, I think. This week, I was looking down the list, and it took me a few scrolls of my mouse, on the little roller there, to get down to the first Image book, and it was The Walking Dead Deluxe. It was number 55, because they're putting it out now in color, and that was the first Image book that I saw. So I think all of those guys trying to get all those books out in the end of December, trying to get that revenue recognition in 2022. I think Just one slow week, because next week I'll probably get close to double digits again,
That's good for me though too, brother, because
Oh yeah.
when I start missing these weeks that I can't make it down to the comic book shop down there, and they start piling up, and then I get 17, and I'm the type of dude that I hate waiting. Like, I hate when books start stacking up, because once I start seeing that pile and it starts getting bigger and bigger, then it just like, oh man, anxiety starts setting
Right.
in of not being able to, because once it gets to a certain point, you're like, all right, that's reaching my limit, where we're like going on 4 hours there. I'm gonna have
Well,
to like
right.
find a bunch of time to read this.
Right,
So,
because it gets to that point where if I'm weeks behind and I have this stack right here, and I'm like, okay, cool, I can only really read like five. All right, Mark and Sean, which ones do we all read together that you want me to read? And I read those, and all of a sudden, like books like that I only get for myself, The Deadliest Bouquet, Mindset, Blink, all those ones start getting pushed further and further back, and it's like, damn, man, I'm like a month behind. And sure enough, like when I look to give Alex my list for this week, oh shoot, the next issue of that book is coming out. So I'm like, damn. So yeah, you're right. So it's a nice little break from the normal, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 books if you're only going to get like 3 or 4 this week. So that'd be good.
and that's exactly why two of my favorites, two out of the 17 that I still have to read, are two of the ones that I know you guys don't read, because I got the ones read that we like to discuss here. So I still got Human Target and Batman Incorporated. You know how much I've been liking that story. So those are the two left I got to read. Probably, read them tomorrow night or Thursday. Probably get down to TI Friday or Saturday to pick up my 2 weeks worth. But this week, man, just like you said, brother, Bane, that's the one. And I actually
Absolutely.
did hear. Well, I heard the last episode with you and Sean last week. Congratulations. You guys did a great job. And you guys did mention that, like, I remember when you guys mentioned that you guys thought it was just going to be like a Penguin and like the Riddler, but you didn't know we were going to get the Catwoman. And, Sean mentioned Scarecrow, I think. We're getting Bane.
Yeah,
So,
I think
man,
Ra's al Ghul was this past DC previews too.
that's right. You're right. So it's like, man, just keep delivering them. And I wouldn't be mad if we had another one written by the man Tom King himself, because I think he wrote the first one, if I'm not mistaken, the Riddler one.
Him and Mitch Gerards or whatever. He did the
Yes.
artwork on the Riddler one. Yes.
So they have been really, really good. You know what else I saw in previews? It was the number 3 for the Jeff Lemire Swamp
God.
Thing. And it's like, I'm so over that book. We mentioned it here before.
I can't believe I didn't.
And
I can't believe I didn't reach out to you guys about that, because I was like, oh my God, we haven't even got number 2. Come on now.
Weren't they supposed to revamp it with number 1 again? They were supposed to be like a second printing of number 1, remember? Because it was so long. I haven't seen that. I don't know where number 2, but yeah, number 3 is already is supposed to be coming out,
Right.
according to previews. Let me ask you a question real quick, kind of off topic, but it's something that I think, and let the fans chime in. Let us know. Social media, let us know. Email us at the comic bookie, the comic bookies at gmail.com, or at the comic bookies on any social media. But let us know. I think that maybe it could be like something we can do, a little segment like once a month, when we actually do get our big stack of previews, and we could actually go through and maybe pick 1 or 2 that we liked each, that we're going to order, that we think is worth ordering for maybe the fans to check out, or maybe, because I don't know, because previews, obviously, thank you to our sponsor, Treasure Island Comics, we get them for free, but I think you do have to pay for those previews. So I don't know how many people actually pick up that huge previews book, probably diehards. So that's something that we could do, as content creators, and just a cool little segment on something that we like, that we're seeing that's going to be coming out in 2 or 3 months, that if a fan, wants to hop on it with us, or maybe just put it out there for them, that they might not know about it, that we probably wouldn't know about it, like that new AWA that's coming out. Something I thought about, something food for thought maybe we can do, brother.
That seems like really cool, because there are weeks where we have a slow, like, comic book week. Like, me and you and Sean only have like total of like, I don't know, like 4 or 5 books total, and that's taken only a few minutes, right? I can even kind of bookmark previews on like the physical DC, Marvel, and regular previews, and even do like a short, kind of flip to the actual one. Here, like, here's this one, or whatever. So yeah, there's definitely a bunch of avenues that we can get these newer books out. You know what I'm saying? So that's a good idea. Maybe we will start doing that. Sometime before, obviously, the deadline, right? Maybe the week before the 18th, like that Monday or Tuesday before the 18th, or 2 weeks before. So that way people, if they do like, oh shoot, that looks interesting or that sounds interesting, they have until that 18th deadline to get their order in. So yeah. All right, man.
And it could be different for different shops. I know Alex kind of asked for the 18th. I don't know if that's more of a universal date or whatnot, but what do you, I mean, I'm getting Deadpool. Like I said, I pulled that one. That's 3's going all right. So that one's coming out this week. Like you said, it's kind of a slow week. So Bane, Deadpool, probably my favorite ones I'm looking forward to this week. The Flash, I think we might get into that book later. Are you
790? Yeah, I read it.
Okay, so if you want to get into that, I think it's decent. If you wanted to get into that book, we'll get into that. Sure. But yeah, just excited for those 3 pretty much from what I'm getting. But it could be a slow week, but nonetheless, there are some good books coming out,
true.
man.
Let's get into. So this is my only non-DC book that I read last night. So no Marvel. No Image. Actually, no, wait. I'm sorry. This is Image. So my one non-DC book, that one Image, Stillwater 17. I read at the end of the story from good old Chip. This is the penultimate issue of the story. So issue 18, that they're going to take a little while. He's like, it's going to be a longer one. So middle of March or something is the 18th and final issue of Stillwater. 17, the people of Stillwater, actually the bad people of Stillwater, are still trying to take over Coldwater to kind of expand their borders and make it like their town. Like if you've been listening to me talk about this book for the last couple years, it's basically Stillwater is a town where people, if you're inside the borders of the town, you cannot die. You will not age. So there's people who are like, the leader of the, pretty much the villainous group in this town of Stillwater is Galen, and he looks like he's about 9 or 10 years old, but he's really like, in his 30s, 40s, or 50s, because the town has been like that for decades. So there's a rebel group in Stillwater who are uniting with the people of Coldwater, and kind of stuff goes awry and things don't work out as they planned. And so the heroes in this story, Daniel, he's found himself in quite a conundrum here. There's some problems going on. So the 18th and final issue should be very explosive, and I'm looking forward to it. It's been an up and down book for me. Like it has never been a book that I wanted to drop, but it's definitely been a book where like, all right, come on, let's go. Kind of like Undiscovered Country, where it's like, I don't think I want to drop this, but it needs to get better at times. And then sometimes it's like, whoa, that was a sick ass issue, So, it's gonna
that's kind of how that Texas Blood is at times. I felt that way, but man, like you said, sometimes some of these issues, and like this last arc, this last arc that they've had, it's just been really, really good, man. So that book is really good as well. But Stillwater, another one by your boy Chip Zdarsky, spreading himself here thin, writing a lot of good stuff. Stillwater, he's been on it before Daredevil. He's been on it before this Batman run. So you're saying that 18 is the final issue?
Yep, so it's technically 3 arcs of 6 issues, so to speak.
So it's not going to be like a second.
I don't think so. I don't think so. Like he says he does some Q&A at the end of each issue. People write to him or tweet at him or something, and he does a Q&A at the end of each issue. And before he gets into it, it's a long little spiel of how the 18th is the final issue. So I think it's coming to an end. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and like I mentioned, with him writing so many different stuff right now, and probably even wanting to get on a new project, I wouldn't doubt it. If it was the end of Stillwater, especially, you could probably. I wish there. There probably is. Maybe I could ask Alex if there's like a website where we can get data on like books being sold, because maybe just how you explain, I'd imagine maybe Stillwater, how good it was and how good it was supposed to be, that sales had probably been a little bit roller coaster up and down on that book, if I'm not
right.
I would like to see, basically I would like to see, but we'll see, man. Hopefully it's a good ending, like Berserker. I'm waiting for that one as well. So that one's going to be a big ending, supposedly.
I just saw the last issue in previews. Yeah,
yes, you did.
Okay, cool.
Remember we talked about it a couple of weeks ago, how we thought Keanu maybe would have been setting this up for the big screen and whatnot. But
and then going back to Chip, man, dude, spreading himself thin. Talk about that, and then talk about the different publishers. Batman DC, Daredevil with Marvel, Stillwater with freaking Image. He's all over the big guys. So
Public domain.
Right.
That's Image, I believe. What happened to that book? We talked about that as well. It's just, man, that was one of my favorite ones going, and I can't get anything from it. What's up with
I
it,
don't
man?
know. So what?
I have to ask Alex next time I'm in
All
the
right.
shop,
So
man.
I think the one DC book that you don't read that I did is the Batman and the Joker Deadly Duo. I think that's me and Sean, correct?
Correct.
That's a freaky book, man. It's like the sickness.
Who's the artist? I mean, who's the artist was crazy. I mean, the art was kind of crazy. I
Right.
remember it from
So,
the previews, but who's the writer and artist?
Mark Silvestri is the writer, and Arif Prianto. I know we've read plenty of
Okay.
DC from Mr. Prianto, but they put the teeth from like the kind of Joker vampire kind of thing that broke off into Bruce. They put into a jar, and then it sort of ate itself. Right? It ate itself because actually a bat from the cave tried to get in there into the thing and try to eat it, but the teeth ate the bat, and then it turned into a vampire kind of bat thing. It's freaking crazy, this mutated thing, and yeah, it's just taking.
Is that issue
This
3?
was issue 3, yes, and it's Black Label, so it's kind of a lot, a little gory and stuff, but.
I keep up on the issues, even on the books I don't read.
Right. I mean, we're all on the League of Comic Geeks over there, scrolling. So finally, this is the issue where where Bruce Wayne Batman finally he has Joker, trapped or kind of in his custody. And then he finally kind of breaks him out, and then, they're trying to solve this because it's not really Joker's fault. And so finally it's the classic Batman and Joker working together, just the banter back and forth between them. It's going to be a good issue 4. So issue 3 was pretty good, though. It's turning into a pretty decent story. So, yeah. What other ones, anything that I don't read, or do you just want to get into the ones that we read together?
Well, I want to talk about one just real quick, just touch on it. You did read, and I think you guys did mention it last week, but Detective, the one that came, the most recent
right, like
one,
1067.
1067. Oh man, this story is really, really good, dude.
Absolutely.
It's just with the sun and just, man, some crazy, like, that want to come over and take over Gotham, and they're like set up that whole bombing, like, and then, man, as he's talking to Bruce, and then the mom puts on that crazy mask with the eyes and like hypnotizes like people at Wayne Industries to sell her the property and give all the rights and everything. Man, this story is it might be I might start liking it a little bit more than Batman, Chips' Batman right now. Although we're going to talk about that 131, which I thought was pretty wild within itself. We got right now within these detective and Batman books, we got two different really crazy things that we're not, out of like left field type of stories going on. Like, we're not really used to this type of stuff, man.
No, I definitely agree with you because not to give it away, but Batman isn't even on this plane, right? We're not even in this plane of existence right now in Batman 131. So that's pretty crazy. But no, Detective was good. Did you like the sort of short stories that said at the end of each story fed into this is Superman, Jonathan Kent Superman, Action Comics? Did you like Action 1050?
Yeah, that was one of the first ones that I read. I did like it.
Okay, yeah, because it's good because it has multiple different stories kind of intertwined, but then at the same time, it's going to feed into different books. Metallo's going to feed into, I believe, Action, and then the whole thing with Manchester Black is going to feed into Superman #1, right? So it's like it's really cool. And then the other Earth something Superman comes and says, "Oh, we need John Kent Superman." So it's pretty good. I did enjoy that one.
And what about Flash, buddy?
Okay, so Flash. All right, a short story, especially for the beginning part, So I just want to say that the thing that crashed into the ground looks like a penis. Just want to say that. That's the penis ship. I just
that
found
was
the title of
pretty
the
wild how
episode.
they
Yeah, but you're right.
all.
But like all the different flashes are being affected by this,
Mhm.
right? It is, and it seems like Barry Allen at least has a small part in this story because he's right with Iris, and
That's right.
Iris looks to be maybe dead. Not sure, or at least
They were.
unconscious, and she'll make a full recovery in the hospital in issue number 2, or 791. But I did enjoy it.
I'm glad that it feels like Flash is gonna pick up, right? We've kind of been
Right.
it feels like it's been kind of complacent. We got the whole story with the kids and the wife being pregnant now, and just kind of like a fun loving story. But now it seems like these guys who the hell are these dudes? They came crashing into Earth. They deploy like their starship, and everyone's like feeling
Right.
it.
And they dropped the wall, and then it was pretty crazy. But yeah, it's the Empress is waiting. Yeah, it was kind of a weird kind of beginning. I thought this was like a beginning of an Action Comics issue.
Yeah.
Something like out in outer space, some kind of alien stuff. Usually, what we see in a Superman book or Green Lantern.
Every DC right now is like starting like different, right? So like we just mentioned, detective, kind of like a story we're not really used to. Unorthodox Batman right now. We got like Flash finally starting something different. Feels like it's gonna start to pick up. But
yeah, I will
man,
tell you,
DC's
I will tell you though that like seeing like all the Flashes, even the Flash of elsewhere, Jay Garrick, like the original Flash, like seeing all of them, something's gonna go down if they're bringing every single one, and they're gonna involve the kids and the wife too, Linda. It's gonna go down. So this arc should be good. Should be good. And you know what? 1 Minute War. That sounds like all these Flashes have to go so fast that the whole arc is going to take 1 minute of real time. That'd be pretty sick. Because something like that has happened in like the Flash, the TV show, where he's got to go so fast he does like a whole episode takes like 1 minute or like a minute and a half or something. So yeah, it's pretty dope.
But nothing that you've read like that before.
No.
Okay. So let's get into it, Mike. Next book.
All right, man.
If you want to. What do you got?
I did enjoy this issue of the Joker, the man who stopped laughing, with the little kids just back and forth in the hospital. He's pretty like now this usually is said to be like an in-between issue, right? He's in the hospital, he's just doing everything he can to just evade the cops and everyone. So it's kind of like just him evading the cops, but he has so many interactions with different people that I don't know, it kind of painted a picture. It kind of felt like I could see this on a screen, like on a TV show, or I could see Heath Ledger doing this in that hospital scene, right? Going around seeing sick kids and stuff, and then all of a sudden he goes out and blows up a hospital, Like I could definitely see something like this on a big screen. And I thought it was a good issue,
It's almost like you feel bad for the Joker now, right? Because it's like, who is this other guy impersonating?
I know, right? Because it's like, because especially with Red Hood in an issue, Red Hood always feels like you feel bad for him because of what happened in his childhood. Of course, he's a Robin, but at times he's kind of a douchebag, and you're like, man, all right, he can kind of feel like the villain in at least this issue. But then you think to yourself, God dang it, the villain in this is the Joker. Why do I feel more sorry for the Joker than Jason Todd? Like, what the hell's going on here? So,
yeah,
I definitely feel you on that one.
Yeah, it's trending in the right direction, that book.
Agreed.
If no one's been on it yet, I don't know if I'd recommend it at this stage. I mean, it's a good book, but I'd say that it's great or whatnot. I don't know. We'll see how it ends up, but it's it's decent
and
right now.
And how crazy was the interaction at the end with the old lady? It's like she's got, Alzheimer's or dementia, and says, "Oh, is that you?" And then it's Joker saying, "Oh no, it's me, my love," and kind of like helps her peacefully go, Like, oh, it's me, like acting like it's the old husband who's probably dead at this point, right? I'm assuming that the husband's dead. So when they say, "Oh, we lost the Joker and stuff," like this one's dead in here too. And she's
right.
Hugging the picture. I think she finally got that peace, and it came from Joker, which was so weird. Like, who is this guy? So,
but he killed her, right?
I don't think so. I think he just had the conversation with her, and then she finally came to peace with, oh, that was my husband or whatever. I can finally go to like sleep now. And I think she just died peacefully in her sleep. And it was just crazy to me. It was like the Joker did that, you know? The Joker was the one acting like he was the husband and kind of consoling her and saying everything's going to be okay, blah, blah, blah. And then she dies. It's crazy. Man.
Seems kind of funny.
I will tell you one thing, though. I will admit, I haven't been reading this Joker story in the back of the book. I haven't been, because usually it's like, oh, I got 12 books to read, so I'm just going to skip the story. But I had to kind of flip through it because I saw on, social media and then IGN News, all these news stations that, oh my God, the Joker's pregnant. I'm like, oh my God, dude, all these stories spinning it like in certain ways, like, no, like it was a spell, and then when the thing popped out of him, it looked like Clayface, right? It looked like the little thing was Clayface, and so I don't know. I just got that negative feeling of like people are gonna think like, oh, like a man's getting pregnant, you know what I'm saying? But it was nothing like that, It looked like a little freaking Clayface, and it was also like a spell, and it was kind of a funny, silly little side story, but like people were reporting it as like oh my God, the Joker pregnant? Oh, how can that ever happen? Oh, the horror, Like, come on. It's a freaking comic book.
Yeah, you get some crazy shit in these comic books. That's for damn sure.
So, moving on. I have two more, and I know what you want to do. What you want to talk about last.
You got three more.
I know what you want to talk about last. So I will throw out there Batman 131 as the first one.
Okay.
So this is crazy. I thought when I saw the skull on the right side of the cover, I was like, oh, that's like Bones, like Detective Bones or whatever. But no, it's Jim Gordon. Jim Gordon. I was like,
with this mustache.
Oh, what's happening? I was like, oh no. So this is everything that Failsafe did to him, and he's caught in this world, right? And then you got freaking Harvey Dent, Two-Face, looking like Frank Castle, Punisher.
But let me ask you a question though, Michael. Did you actually take the time to actually read the story in the back of the book? Okay, so
I was going to get to that. So on the complete 100% contrary, different end of the spectrum, yes, I did.
It's almost like you have to read this one. You see, that's why sometimes I don't like skipping those stories. But see, this one is crazy because we get some answers about that pistol that Failsafe hit him with, Bruce. Right? So what do you think is going on there?
He like teleported him somewhere within his own head, right? It's weird.
What's going on in the beginning when they like tranquilize the chick with the kid? When Bruce comes in, I mean, who's this guy? He's talking about that his name's the what's his name?
When they trank the kid,
or the lady. It's like on the second page.
Okay.
It's that. Is that like the Dent? Supposed to be the Dent that you're talking about?
You mean the guy with like the slick back hair?
Yes.
Yeah, that's Harvey Dent. So he's supposed to be like the law, He's supposed to be like, the guy that everyone has to, follow. So he's not Two-Face, obviously. So this is like a different world. So either he was kind of teleported to a different world, like a different Earth 3 or Earth 3276, right? But he's not in Earth 1 Gotham, right? So it's pretty crazy. But yeah, he's going out, and then he gets help from some kid flying out the window and stuff. So
what about Firefly?
Oh God, Firefly's an idiot.
But Firefly didn't look like altered in any way, right?
No, you're
like
right.
Like Jim Gordon and like Dent.
Right, and I think, and you know what, Jim Gordon was in his head. Do you think Jim Gordon was actually like Director Bones, like where he was actually other people could see him? It felt to me as if Jim Gordon was in Batman's head, and he's the only one who could see him. Because I don't think he interacted with him, right? Jim Gordon was just talking to him the whole time.
Oh yeah,
I don't think Bruce Wayne ever talked back to Jim Gordon.
And then what about who's Selena Kyle obviously gets the call, right, from the Red Mask,
right? Yes,
and he's saying that. I mean, but what is that in the Earth?
Like drop everything, right?
Is that in the Earth that Bruce Wayne is in right now, or is that in Earth 1 Gotham that she's getting this call from Red Mass and drop everything, your main mission,
for sure the current one, because yeah,
but he's nowhere to be found.
yeah. Well, she goes like,
So everyone's looking.
yeah, he's
Robin,
to be your top
Selena.
priority. Yep, Bruce Wayne, but he's yep, and then boom, no, top priority. He goes, Bruce, I've been waiting for you. So something's happening, right?
I like the how it's different. I do. I like how Ram, I like how Chip, how they're doing these DC stories a little bit more unorthodox, and just like they're basically saying in this Batman, right? It's like there's no more Batman. It's just like Bruce Wayne is gonna have to figure it out without the Batman, without the Dark Knight, right? So,
or maybe this is just like, what's the old Christmas story? The one with Ebenezer Scrooge, where he gets visited by the ghost of Christmas past, present, and future, where it's kind of like how he says at the end of the book, this is Failsafe's compensation, his gift, a Gotham without Batman, a Gotham to save. So it's kind of like kind of either putting him to the test or kind of showing him like this is what Gotham is without you, right? So yeah, it's pretty crazy. And of course, like you were saying about the backstory, I flipped it one page. I was like, do I want to read this one? And boom, all of a sudden I see a graphic of Failsafe shooting Batman. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I have to read this one. It looks connected, right?
And then you see Tim Drake and Nightwing, right?
Yes.
They're, with the banter, it's like how all these like little small goons are gonna start coming out the woodworks now because Batman is gone, and now they feel like it's more on their shoulders to have to save Gotham and whatnot.
It's kind of like this whole Nightfall. That's where Tim Drake got his big reveal and big gig. Is when he had to when him and Dick Grayson, these two, filled in for him when they were trying to fill in for Batman, and also at the same time fighting against Azrael when he thought he was Batman. So this is shaping up to be another good story.
I think it's gonna get good, right? Yeah. I just hope that I mean, how many arcs do you think this will go on for?
Well, that's just gonna be one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think he'll be back in the regular living in Gotham or whatever. It's just gonna take this arc. That's my opinion.
Okay. I was thinking at least two, but you're probably right.
Okay, moving on. You have two more. I have one. So do your.
Well, you don't. I mean, I thought we would have the same one. You don't have the Riddler?
Oh, right. I don't have it in my stack because I read it last week, and I kind of discussed it last week with Sean, even though he didn't get it. But yeah, let's discuss that one. That one was pretty crazy.
Real good.
That one was pretty crazy.
Man.
Like what he unveiled to his boss was like, oh crap! Like someone's shaving, or what's skimming. Someone's skimming money from, and then you find out that the boss is actually with
the Chinese dude, and he's giving money to the daughter, and so he's like, "Oh, I work for this money. I work for this money."
And it was the guy, it was the muscle who was the one who was skimming, because what Edward Nygma found was true, but it was the wrong person. They pointed the finger at the wrong person because he's looking at the footage and the cameras of the Chinese guy giving money to his daughter, like his hard-earned money to her, and he ends up getting killed. And now at the end of that issue, the guy who was...
How did he get killed, though? Tell the fans. How did he get killed?
Oh, how did he get killed? I'm drawing a blank.
He hung him upside down, and the dog or whatever came over.
Oh my God, that's right.
Chopped him.
As soon as I asked the question, I picture him hanging upside down. That's the picture. As soon as I asked the question, I was like, that's right. And then of course, the guy who's skimming, who's actually stealing from Falcone, is the one that they go and he's going to kidnap the daughter. Hey, where are you going? At the train stop.
That's right.
The bus.
She's trying to get away on the train stop. That's right.
So that's going to be...
By the way, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys are following along, this is book 2 of a DC Black Label, the Paul Dano and Steven Subich, the Riddler, year 1. Really good book. It took us a while, I feel like, to get issue 2. Right. But
a month, bro.
It's really good. The art is good. It's kind of based off the Batman, the Batman, right? The movie. Paul Dano's Riddler and whatnot. So it's actually really, really good. This is a book that if you guys don't like waiting around for issues, this is a book that I'd probably, especially with it being Black Label, I think Mike can attest to this as well. If you haven't been on it yet, 3's gonna come out, but get the trade. Just get the trade when it does come out.
That's a good idea. I think everything Black Label. I'm not gonna tell you right now to your face that I wouldn't get individual copies of like Harleen or History of the DC Universe, but if I had to go back, I would get the trades of every Black Label book.
They're so good.
The ones that at least are every other month. Some of them come out more often than they should or they used to. So.
One that's not Black Label though, and is just fire.
One of my favorites right now.
I mean,
this issue 4 was bomb.
I told you, brother. When I read it, I was like, "Oh, you're gonna love this one, man." Right. Gotham City. We getting a lot of year 1s, year 2s, Riddlers year 1s, Gotham City's year 1s, but here we are, nonetheless, by Mr. Tom King himself, Phil Hester, Eric Gapster, and Jordi Belair. But here, Gotham City year 1. Mike, what do you think, man? This story is just, man. Tom King has just been delivering and delivering. I mean, I say it all the time, dude. The way he like sinks me into a book with just very few words. It's just he's a man that can do it. So he can put it on me, Mike. Right. Tom King can put it on me, man.
So when you think about it, when you talk about Human Target, and we talk about One Bad Day, Riddler, Strange Adventures, this Gotham City year 1, doesn't it make you go back and realize, like, God damn, that Batman run was really a lot better than what we kind of took it for granted? I think with a lot of those,
I was so young,
a lot of those slow
I was so novice.
Right.
That was when we started the podcast.
If you read those first 80 issues that he did after you had read those books, it'd be some of the best work that you've ever read,
dude. But what about this? Where the guy, he's like, I mean, he goes back and he sees who does he beat up with the bat? Is that Wayne?
Oh, that was
when they go
at the end.
He says that they go to the South Side. A lot of the rich people go to the South Side to pick up the chicks, and he met up
side piece. So he knows the routes. Piece. So because he was getting his ass kicked by the commissioner or whatever at the time. That's who he beats up.
That's right. And then he ends. It's in Crime Alley, right?
Right. So it's, oh my God, it gives such, bro. That page is so powerful. Good. It's like that's where it got its name. Crime Alley.
So good, dude. And then just like the lady, is that that's Martha Wayne, right?
Right.
So she's in on it.
She's not. I mean, you mean the lady at the end?
Because
I mean the lady at the end with
the baby.
With
the
gun?
is. No, in the middle. Or with the gun.
With the gun is the lady at the one where she's trying to exchange. Remember in the first issue 1 or issue 2?
Money.
Yeah, the money. I don't think that's Martha Wayne is the one that he sleeps with.
Was in the beginning.
That he sleeps with, yeah.
Okay. So that was a trip that he sleeps with Martha Wayne.
Right.
Then the chick tries to come back. Do you remember number 3 if they mentioned the kid being dead?
I don't.
Or is this just?
No,
I think it was just because that hit me by surprise when I started reading it. Because it's like on the very first page, right? Like Princess Helen murdered. So I think when we talked about issue 3, we said that she's probably okay. Like we assumed that this little baby they weren't going to kill off, but they did. They did. Right. And that's what makes the story more interesting, because I thought it was just going to be like he was going to end up saving her, but that's why Wayne was so pissed off. He's like, I had the money, but you wanted to go the other way, and you wanted to make your own decision, right? And he just smacked him up, and dude, it's just like, he's been getting smacked up, and he tells the commissioner or whatever, or no, he tells Mr. Wayne, he's like, I've been getting hit around, and I'm just getting sick of this, right?
I'm about done. I'm about done today.
I'm not done. Right. And then Wayne's bodyguard pulls the gun on him, and dude, this guy,
like how he just talks through his moves and like what he does to disarm this guy. He goes, if it's 15 guys, I can't take him.
But 3?
But like we'll learn from Mr. Kirk Cousin, if it's 3, then it's okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Thomas Wayne in this book is
is.
kind of a bit of a puss, in my opinion. He's like, "What are you doing? Shoot him!" He goes, "Shoot him, damn you!" He goes, "Loader, what in God's earth are you doing? I'm protecting you. I'm doing what I'm paid to. I'm saving your life by not shooting him." It's pretty crazy. But
This is a great
right,
book.
so I can't wait. I don't know. I forgot how many issues it was supposed to be, like a 6 or an 8 or something. Because Tom King doesn't just write like 4 or 5 issues like series. So it's gonna get good.
It's usually 12 with Tom King.
Something like that, like at least. So, man, something could
But now
something
with the
could
kid-
something could unravel to where the kid's not dead. You know, who knows?
That is true, because I don't know how you're gonna get 8 more issues.
Right? Yeah.
Because it seems like they've revealed so much. But yeah, it could be a plot twist. You're right.
Could be.
But dude, this book is great.
Yeah, definitely. So, a whole lot of comic book talk, and with just a handful of books. So, that's really good. I got quite the. I think I got just 6 more last week. So I think we have an issue of Daredevil to get into next week. What else did I pick up last week?
That is
Amazing
true.
Spider-Man, the Dark Web story continues. I'm about done with that. I'm about to drop that pretty soon. Unless the end of that, I'm going to give it to the end of that arc. If that arc doesn't
Which
blow
one?
my
Spider-Man?
yeah, Amazing Spider-Man. If that Dark Web with Chasm or whatever his name is, if that doesn't blow my socks off, then I'm dumping it.
Ben, or not Ben? Was it Ben? I think it's
Something
Ben.
like that. All right.
Dude, I know. It's just like Spider-Man's supposed to be almost like flagship for you, Marvel. And the book right now just isn't even as good as my Daredevil. It might not even be as good as my Symbol of Truth. My Symbol of Truth, my Captain America with Mr. Sam Wilson.
That's a short
right
story,
now.
by the way. Did you see Marvel previews? It's like only like 5 or 6 issues.
Is it?
Yeah, because they previewed issue 5 of 6 or 6 of 6 or something.
Oh,
yeah.
wow. Because I kind of enjoying that story
Right.
with the whole Wakanda and the refugees and whatnot.
But
that story has actually
Mark,
been pretty good. I've actually been enjoying it. Now they want to get rid of it.
Mark, there's an Amazing Spider-Man story, a Spider-Man story, like a deadly neighborhood Spider-Man. Like there's too many. Stop giving us so many Spider-Mans and put your best people on just one Spider-Man book. You know, you're always going to get, and that's the thing about Batman. That's why Batman's the best. Because we're reading Gotham. Gotham Year One. We're reading Riddler. We're reading all these One Bad Days. I'm reading Batman Fortress, which is pretty good. You're reading Batman Incorporated. We're reading all these Batman books, and we usually don't have anything bad to say about it. So either Marvel doesn't give a shit about their comic book, platform, and they want to put more into the shows, the movie, and Disney Plus, and satisfying those fans. But man, no one should ever say anything bad right now about the DC books compared to the Marvel books. It is night and day.
That is true. It's been like that. I feel like since we've been doing this
for
podcast,
sure.
Getting guys like Chip on this Daredevil book, kind of having them hold on like a hubcap in the fast lane.
There's a few good books.
Daredevil's great though.
Yeah.
It's like that's what I'm saying. Like, how could Spider-Man just
right?
And then, I get it, but I don't know, man. I think Spider-Man being like one of your flagship characters, man, it's just, it's gotta be better. It's just gotta be. It's gotta be like on that Chip Zdarsky's like Daredevil book, how we're just getting so much and how it's intertwined with that Punisher that Sean's reading, and how it's just the fist and the hand and how it's like, man, it's just really, really good. And that's what I want to see more from Marvel. Right. And we don't get that. We don't get that, man.
No, man.
I don't know what it is.
I don't know.
But
I don't know what's going to take, but I hope they get it. I hope so, because I like these characters. So let's get into a couple pieces of news. With 4.7 million viewers, The Last of Us TV show based off of the renowned video game is the second biggest HBO premiere ever. So I think that, I don't know, I have work tomorrow. So if I didn't have work tomorrow, then I might have been watching that first episode after this recording. But my wife did say that she read like an article, or someone who is well respected in the industry said that this is the best adaptation of a video game ever, movie or TV show. So from like the looks and maybe it's the story, the what's it called, how they, what the hell am I trying to say? Their, how they dress, how they look.
Their attire?
Yeah, the wardrobe, like everything,
Okay.
like just, visually. So yeah, I can't wait to get into this one. Put it on the queue, put it on the list of like all the shows that I need to watch, So, but I'm actually not surprised because they were talking about this for so long. And I know the game is good. I've never played the game, but once I saw the first trailer, it's really good.
How about that trailer for The Mandalorian, Mike?
Oh, so good.
I don't know if you have that on your list of news to run down for the entertainment section.
Please. That was good. Halftime of last night's game. I can't wait.
That was pretty cool how they did that.
Yeah. Mandalorian is one of the few shows where me and my wife kind of put everything off to the side and we watch it, like, put stuff aside and watch that one.
And of course, you would say that's one of the best ones that the Disney Plus has been coming out with. Next to the
for sure.
You actually I thank you for I'd like to congratulate you on your Twitter as well. I see that our account's been a little bit more we're getting a little bit more traction. Some more
clout, I
love to see it, man. I love to see it with Elon at the helm. Maybe it could help the comic bookies
there we go,
get more engagements and whatnot. But yeah, man, send out those tweets, engage more with these companies and whatnot, because man, they want to hear from us and we like to hear from them. I saw Instagram AWA gave us a little heart and whatnot, so it's good, man. It's good.
AWA started following us, if you didn't see that.
Oh, I did not. Is that what you were sending us?
So AWA, they liked the tweet, they followed us on Twitter, and they commented saying, "Oh, thank you," because someone said something about like AWA, and I said, since day one, the majority of their stories are just absolute fire. And then boom.
There it is. Alex Alonso, baby. Got us to follow. Let's do it.
Right? So yes, I can't wait for that. Also, Alien, the TV series, begins production this year. And good news for all you Alien fans who are worried maybe like, it's like a PG-13. No, it's on FX. So we will hopefully be getting like a rated R, gory, got some cussing, got some this and that. So give me like a Mayans, a Snowfall, those type of shows. But with Alien, that's going to be a good one.
Dang, is it? That's going to be I
think so. Yeah.
That is going to be pretty good, right?
Right. Marvel Snap, my favorite mobile video game right now, is getting a huge upgrade at the end of this month on the 31st. Finally, a player versus player battle mode. So coming January 31st. So basically, Mark, you have 3 different areas where you can play your cards. At the end of the game, you just have to try to win 2 out of the 3 to win the game. This one's a little bit different. Both players start with 10 power, and you have to use your cards to bring their power down to 0 before they do it to yours. So a full review once the update comes, and I play a few weeks of it. But I am thoroughly excited because usually a game comes out and I see a trailer for it and I download it and I play it for like a week or 2, and then I'm like, yeah, this is okay. But this one so far, since I've gotten it, I got it November, like late October, early November. I probably open it up every day and play just a few minutes. Right? It's my poop. It's my poop game.
This is what I love about this. My poop game. This is what
my poop game.
What's the little poopy from South Park? What was his name?
Mr. Hanky.
Yeah.
Right?
This is why I love this podcast, man, because we all bring something to the table, man. Like, you play video games a lot more than I do. Sean as well probably plays more than I do, but you guys are more into the streaming than I am. But yet I'm more into maybe college sports at times than you guys are, and it's just all of us got our little aspects. That's why sometimes during football season especially, it's so hard to sometimes keep this podcast under an hour and 45 minutes.
I know.
If you will, but
right.
Man, it's just that we all have like our own little intuitions and likings and hobbies and whatnot that we all bring to the table to I'm sure that every fan here is has a little something in common with at least one of us, and that's what we try to do here. So man, it's fun stuff, man.
Some bad news, unfortunately, for fans of Rick and Morty. The co-creator of the show, Justin Roiland, is under hot water. He's been charged from a 2020 complaint with domestic violence and false imprisonment. So nice little kidnapping. So that's That's not too good.
Rick and Morty.
I know, right?
A lot of people like him.
Mr. Vicious Heart 06, what's going on? Thank you for coming in the chat. Oh, he says The Last of Us crazy opening. See, why do I have to have work tomorrow? I need to watch. Why do I have work tomorrow? God damn it. Oh man. So,
Avatar: The Way of the Water.
Oh, I saw
1.9 billion globally.
So now it's almost broken even. Great. Good for them. I can't. It's so hard to just get out because sometimes, like when I want to go, because usually it's a date night, right? Go to dinner, to a movie, or whatever. But sometimes when I want to go on a date with my wife, I want to go on a date to then look her in the face, go to dinner and like go do something and have conversations. When it's a movie, it's like, oh, cool, let's go sit in the theater for 3.5 hours and not talk to each other. So sometimes I'm kind of turned off. I don't know, unless it's a movie she really, really wants to watch. So I might just have to wait for that one for Disney Plus as well. I don't know.
Jeremy Renner back at home after the snow plow incident.
Oh, good.
So good for him.
I heard something that he still might lose his leg, though. Is that true? I didn't.
Come on.
Something like that.
I don't think so. I hope
I was
not.
overhearing a conversation when I was at my parents' house. I think my brother and my dad or my mom were talking about it. I think there's still a fear that he may lose his leg or something. It may be fake news. Don't fact check me on that. I apologize if it's fake news, but yeah.
I don't remember hearing that. But,
Vicious Heart 06. That's what sick days are for. Stay home sick and watch The Last of Us. And I have one more piece of news, Mark. Ooh, you are gonna love this. So for all of you guys who are fans of comic books, are fans of stories, and if you're a fan of this podcast and you listen to others' podcasts on Spotify, great news. A brand new podcast is coming January 31st. All episodes are going to be available that day. It's a Harley Quinn and the Joker Sound Mind Spotify podcast. So it's one of those like kind of story podcasts that they, but you listen to it. And from the trailer, I listened to it right before you jumped on Skype. It sounds like the Harley and the Joker, the Criminal Minds or whatever, or like a Harleen story, like from Black Label, but in podcast form. So our Christina Ricci from the
yes, Casper.
Yeah, right. She's playing Harley Quinn.
Wow, she's still doing her thing, huh?
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, congratulations to her. She was one of those like young stars when Teen Bop was around back in like the 90s when we were younger, she was giving out our age there.
Yeah, she was Wednesday in the Addams Family.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. She was Katie Holmes and whatever, the Dawson's Creek days.
Right. Billy Magnuson, he's in the newest Bond movie, No Time to Die. He's playing the Joker. And then Justin Hartley is playing Batman. Justin Hartley is in he played Oliver Queen Green Arrow in Smallville. So he's playing Batman Bruce Wayne in this podcast. So all episodes are available January 31st. That's gonna be a good one to just kind of either during work or whatever. But it's gonna be like it's gonna feel like you're reading, because I've never done this before. Like listen to a podcast, right. But it's gonna feel like you're maybe reading a comic book or watching a show or a movie, but just listening to it. It's gonna have all the because the trailer had like sounds of like clanking, like closing of the jail cell doors, and just kind of eerie music of her talking with him and stuff. Yeah, it's gonna be cool. To answer your question, Vicious Hearts 06, yes, this podcast is on Spotify. It's also on iTunes. It's also on Amazon Prime Music. We're on iHeartRadio. We're on the radio.com app. Yeah, you can search. There's plenty of different ways to listen to it or watch it here. But yes, we are on Spotify.
And going back, Mike, to what you said about listening to like these podcast form comic book stories, which seems actually really cool, really different to me. I'm glad that they're trying this, and why not, right? Spotify, obviously, signing Joe Rogan to that huge deal, and they're always trying to invent and make their product better, and why not try something like this? What it reminds me of, because we are the Comic Bookies podcast, colliding the world of sports and comics on the weekly here and entertainment as well. And it reminds me of going back to when I used to go back to the Oakland Coliseum years ago and take the BART train up to the stadium and listen to the game on my
right
on but you're like So like when you listen to the game on the radio and you're sitting in the stadium and you see how Ken Korak and obviously the announcers for the A's are like announcing the game, and then you when you leave and you're not watching the game live, and it's like you have to like paint this picture in your head of how the game is going. And I always thought that baseball, to me personally, was one of the best sports to listen to on the radio to help me paint a picture. And I feel like listening to these comic books in this podcast form might be kind of the same way. You have to paint the picture in your head, but yeah, you're getting like these, entertainers and these actors
these
and
celebrities,
whatnot celebrities that are going to deliver it to you, and like you said, with the sound effects and whatnot.
Right.
So I'm all for it, man. I might have to check that out. I did not know about that. And like I said, not only do we deliver the fans all this news, we also deliver to each other and co-hosts, because I didn't even know about this. So we didn't know about it in pre-production. So I'm finding out this is brand new news to me, breaking the wire too. So thanks, Mike.
I saved that for you because I know how big of a fan since we've been doing this thing of you are of the Joker and Harley Quinn especially.
I'm all like, dude, other than doing this podcast, most of my entertainment is podcasting. I listen to podcasts all the time at the gym. I barely even listen to music at the gym these days. I know I'm old and boring and whatnot, but I'm a podcast guy.
I'm the same way.
It's what happens when you get old. Maybe 10 years ago, people in their 30s weren't saying that all they do is consume podcasts because they weren't really around. But man, now that we got them, it's just whatever fits your, whatever fits your style. You can do finance podcasts, entertainment, comics, sports, whatever the hell you want. There's a podcast for everybody. Podcasting is still growing, and I'm so glad that we've been doing this for 4 years and we can continue to grow our brand, brother. Man, it's great stuff.
Yeah, you know what? We're almost to that age, bro, where when we were kids, we used to complain like, "Oh man, all my dad does is read the newspaper and watch news. Like he doesn't watch like Hey Arnold and stuff that he doesn't want to watch. All he wants to do is that." Yeah, we're getting to that age, bro.
Listening to traffic and news on the radio as we're driving with our parents. Now I'm the one checking the damn traffic.
Exactly. So, all right, man, that's it for. Oh, you know what? I have one more piece of news, and it's going back to video games. Oh, you know what? I kind of screwed that one up because I was going to lead into the news about Marvel Snap, but Marvel Snap won the A-Train Award for Best Mobile Game at the New York Video Game Awards today or yesterday or whatever. So, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, so that one's pretty good. A Vicious Heart 06. Oh my God, yes, now I have something to listen to while I'm in the laboratory. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Vicious.
Yes, thank you so much. So let's kind of turn this sucker around and let's go in the direction of sports. But before we do that, this is the Comic Bookies Podcast, episode 174. We are live on YouTube, and of course, starting tomorrow, Wednesday, January 18th, 2023, we will be on Spotify, Apple, podcasts, and anywhere else you get your podcasts. So thank you so much for the love and support of this show. And then also I might sound monotone this week, and I apologize. I'm a little stuffed up. So yeah, sports, bro. There's only one thing to talk about here in the Bay Area right now. Even though me and you being Raider fans, I know Vicious Hearts, I know you're a Niner fan, so you're going to love this. But, man, 49ers look freaking good on Saturday. First game of the week, I think it was 1:30 p.m. against the Seattle Seahawks. Kind of new. I teased Sean a little bit, and I'm not teasing him, meaning like I teased that maybe they could cover Seattle. And it was so funny because, and it's all out of jealousy. Like I've said this before. It's all out of jealousy. That's the reason why I want the Niners to lose all the time, because I'm jealous that my Raiders don't do shit ever, right? 2016, before Derek Carr broke his leg. And before that, it was like, I don't know, when they went to the Super Bowl. But I was like, maybe they cover. And it was so funny because I was picking up my brother from my parents' house to take him over to my house to spend the night and hang out with the kids. And it was 10-0. We're watching the beginning of the Niner game. It was 10-0. McCaffrey had just scored his first touchdown. We get in the car. We drive from Newark to Tracy. And in that time, Seattle goes up 17-16 at halftime. We're like, oh, wow, this is an actual game. I walk into my house. My wife, also a Niner fan, has the game on. And from then on, it was just a freaking, just a slaughter. And they looked really well. Everyone talks about their defense, right? And how kind of just not making too many mistakes. That's what the whole Jimmy G thing. He does enough to win, right? So, but with their defense combined with how well their offense looked, I mean, Jesus Christ, Brock Purdy, like just, call him Tom Brady right now, right? 330 yards, handful of touchdowns. He's not making any mistakes. He's evading pressure and then also still making those throws, right? Like Jimmy G could evade pressure. But like I'm telling this to all my Niner fans, like friends. I'm like, when I look at Brock Purdy and when I look at Jimmy G, the difference is that when it's 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8 for Jimmy, I don't have any confidence of him picking up that first down. Brock Purdy, I do. He's scary every single time he goes under center. So him only playing 6-7 games, man, are they going to do it? I know that was long-winded, but man.
Man, I'm glad. I'd love to hear it, man, because man, me watching these football games this weekend was kind of under the weather, so I was like in and out and just. And I try to tune in as much as I can. I did. Obviously, the Niner game was the first one of the weekend.
Right.
They were hanging, but man, the Niners just look so good right now. It's just the thing that scares me is as we get into these latter stages of these playoffs, we obviously got a historic type of matchup here coming with Dallas Cowboys coming to town. We obviously, as football fans, love them or not, they're Niners, Cowboys, whatnot.
Right.
I love seeing this matchup.
That's true.
I think last year they played, didn't the Niners beat them? I think 23-17 or 21-17 in Dallas last year.
Yeah, it was the first or second round. Yeah.
Dallas is going to be looking for revenge here, man. I think that, believe it or not, Dak Prescott, was probably, I don't know if you can say the best, but he's definitely the most seasoned quarterback right now in these NFC playoffs. You can say Jalen Hurts might have been the best, but honestly, before this year,
Jalen Hurts hasn't even played in a playoff game before in his career. So
exactly, and a lot of people weren't really expecting him to do what he has done, congrats to him and big ups to what he has been able to accomplish this year with that Eagles team and Sirianni really making up good game plans and Devonta Smith for being such a small, wide receiver. Guy's good as hell, man. So, but Dak Prescott, he's been in the game. He's been running that Cowboys offense for a minute. He's, and just he's seasoned, Brock Purdy, obviously, whoever would have thought that this kid, starting third string quarterback here would have been doing what he's doing, and big ups to him as well. But the thing that I'm scared about here, San Francisco as a 3.5 point favorite. Man, I think this could be a game that Brock is just gonna, he's got to have a bad game eventually.
Right.
You can't just keep having all these good ass games, and I'm not trying to, sound like I'm hating or whatnot, because like I said, love the kid at Iowa State. Won me some bets in football
Right.
a lot of times, and he's really good. So, but with this line here at 3.5, I like to see where it goes. I don't think it's gonna stay pinned at 3.5. I think something's gonna have to give. I think it might end up at 3.5 at the end of the day. But I want to see which way the market pulls.
I have it at 4. Would you take Cowboys at 4 right now? I have it at 4 at ESPN.
I would take Cowboys at 4, and that's why I want to see the way this line is going to bounce, because right now the early money's coming in on San Francisco. People are Brock believers, right?
Anything under 7, that they're taking the 49ers.
7? Man, if it gets to 7, give me Dallas
that's
all
what I
day.
mean. Like, they're playing that good. No other team right now scares me more than the Niners. Not even Philadelphia, not even Kansas City. But I will say that Dallas is probably overall one of the better teams that Brock Purdy has played against. Like defensive-wise, on both sides of the ball, this is probably maybe the best team that he's played against.
I think Dallas could be getting a little overlooked here. CeeDee Lamb and Dak seem to have a pretty good connection. Pollard's decent.
Pollard's. I would take Pollard over Zeke right now, and Dalton Schultz at tight end. Man,
but the thing is, it is the Niners defense,
right?
Right. So Niners defense is real good. So we're yet to be determined how Pollard can perform. Right. There was a couple, we saw a couple players for Dallas, kind of getting beat up in that game.
Very true.
Dallas's defense is pretty decent as well. So I don't know, man. I think Dallas is going to give the Niners a run for their money, especially with revenge on their mind. like I'm saying, don't be too surprised if it gets up. You said you have 4. I haven't seen a 4 yet, but I'd like to see if it goes from 4 to 3. Then you're gonna see. I think that maybe smart money is waiting a little bit on the sidelines to see where this line could go to.
Right.
Maybe see if the Niner money could push it higher. But I think like later on, closer to game time or closer to I think we can see some Dallas money coming in, and I wouldn't be surprised if that is what will happen. But man,
Right.
this is one to
You know
keep.
what? Yeah, I could see that too, especially if you get it at 4. I could see something where Brock Purdy maybe doesn't have the game of his life. He maybe has his worst game, but then he might squeak out still a win by 2 or 3 points, giving you the cover on the Dallas side, something like that. I just think right now with how the teams are playing, I see nothing but red for our Super Bowl again. I just see a rematch between Kansas City and San Francisco, and so whether or not they cover.
What about that over under, Mike? 46.5 right now. What do you have? Is it trending towards 47? Because I think 46.5,
is, I would probably go with, oh man.
I'm going over here, man.
Yeah, like a lot of big plays with CeeDee Lamb, with Pollard, with Debo, with Kittle over the what the hell is this stupid ass Kittle over the middle?
I think a lot of people had Niners in Seattle, they're division foes. They're gonna go under. They were talking about the rain that never transpired. Which, like I said, forget. Especially when it comes to California, like these rain reports. Like,
right?
I see it all the time. The storm comes in 2 hours, 3 hours later than what all these forecasters and meteorologists are talking about. So trust me, when it comes to California weather, you don't know what you're gonna get. So that was a little phony there. I don't think we're gonna have weather this weekend. I think it's gonna be sunshine. I think these storms are getting over us, but
maybe some clouds.
46.5. I think it's going to go over, man. I think these teams like to score, as vaunted as their defenses both are supposed to be. But like I said, I'm not really over underplay type of player because they can't go both ways. But I might be looking to like maybe even if I could do a teaser, because if you could do a teaser here, you're getting almost 10 with Dallas, with a 6-point teaser.
That's true.
And you can get over 40. Why not 40.5? That's a pretty good 2-leg teaser if you guys are into that type of stuff.
Right. So the Niners have won 11 straight, including the one playoff win last week. So we'll see if
thank you for bringing that up. That is another thing that was on my radar a couple days ago when I saw that exact same stat.
Are they going to win?
It's hard to just keep winning.
Are they going to win 14? Right. Are they going to win 14 straight and hoist that 6th Lombardi Trophy? Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. With a third-string rookie quarterback, you've 11 straight. I mean, if they do, more power to them.
Right.
And they deserve it, but that's a tough feat to do in this National Football League, Mike.
All right, so let's go back to the other. Let's go back to Saturday first. So we have both games on Saturday. The spread is over a touchdown here. I see on ESPN.com. The Jaguars visit the Kansas City Chiefs -8.5 for the Chiefs, and the New York Giants visit the Philadelphia Eagles. Division game right there, -7.5. Great job. I'm going to go ahead and give you credit. Thank you so much for pointing out that 3 of the 4 NFC teams still in the playoffs come from the East. Great stat today. I was like, oh, crap, that's right.
And that was supposed to be what the AFC West was supposed to do, if I'm not mistaken, Mike. Remember? On paper, before the season started, the Raiders, Devontae Adams, oh my God, Justin Herbert with Khalil Mack on that defensive side now with Bosa right there. Oh, Jesus Christ, Russell Wilson, let's ride down there in Mile High, right?
And then Chandler Jones, is with Max Crosby with Devontae Adams coming. Oh, I know.
This was so NFC East basically did what the AFC West was supposed to do.
Well, AFC West got 2, but then LA just shat the bed.
Like I just mentioned, 3 of the teams in the NFC playoffs that are left out of the 4 are representing the NFC East. But how cool is it that in the AFC, not only does each division have a team representing themselves in these final 4, right? So the Jaguars from the South, the KC Chiefs from the West, and then you got the Bengals from the North, and then you got the Bills from the East. Yeah, so every single division in the AFC is being represented here. So I think that's pretty cool. And another stat for you, Mike. How funny is it that Patrick Mahomes is your oldest quarterback in these AFC playoffs.
I saw that. Yeah.
How crazy is that, man?
I know.
I mean, the AFC is just stacked. That's why I think Derek Carr, his ass needs to get the hell out of the AFC. He needs to go to NFC, where these quarterbacks are, as young and as getting developed as the AFC. Because the AFC, man, it's tough right now for quarterbacks, man. There's some good young studs.
Right, because even Trevor Lawrence is coming along well, because he had one hell of a second half against LA. Man, the Chargers just freaking choked right there. I love to see it. Being a Raider fan, sorry to Charger fans listen to this down in Southern California and beyond, but man, I love seeing that. And I turned the TV off. I turned the TV off for a while and put like a movie on for my kids or something like that, and I was like, what's the score? I was like, oh shoot, they're within one score. Hey, turn it back on. And then boom, it happened. Did you see that? Did you see that one video where I think I just saw it today on Instagram, and I think ESPN shared it. There was a guy. It was 27-7 when this dude fell asleep in his Chargers jersey, and his friend wakes him up like, hey. And he woke him up right when the final field goal went through, and it was 31-30, and he's just sitting there like, just dumbfounded, like, oh my god, my team just lost. It was so fun. It was so funny watching that.
So 3 points I think they scored 3 points in the second half, right? Because they went in. Mm-hmm. So that'll do it.
Classic Chargers in the playoffs. Classic Raiders in the 2022 season. Up at least 2 scores. The defense craps the bed in the second half. The offense looks, freaking horrid and scores 3 points, and they lose.
Man, like I always say, brother. Just get 6, man. You see the picture behind me?
Oh.
It's an ode to Kirk Cousins. Another game we have to talk about. Shout out to you, Michael, for pointing out that you did like the New York Giants in 173. You did say that.
Shout out, Brett, my sister's boyfriend. That's his team.
Your girlfriend.
I know, right? My sister's boyfriend's. Sorry, it's 5 minutes to 11 p.m. here on the Pacific coast. So, my sister's boyfriend, Brett. He's from out there from Jersey. He's a Giants fan, so congrats to him.
He's from Jersey.
Yeah. So the only person in the household on Sunday when we were hanging out that didn't have a team in the playoffs was all of us Raider fans. My wife had her Niners, and Brett had his Giants. So yeah, it was a nice little feeling. But that was a great game to watch. I thoroughly enjoyed that one.
So how many times, Michael? Like, I think it was when Minnesota was like 10-2, when you were like, wait, they're like the quietest 10-2 team I've ever seen.
I think it was 10-3. It was like, whoa, wait a minute. I seriously was dumb. I was so like taken aback. Like, wait a minute.
No one believed in them, right? Maybe this is why. So you see Kirk Cousins 4th and 8, fourth in the year, if I'm not mistaken.
He did play well,
you throw it 3 yards.
Before you get into that, he did play well that game. He just didn't play well on that play.
Yes, but congratulations to Brian Dable. Congratulations to Daniel Jones. He's another quarterback. He's
telling everyone, Daniel Jones.
Saquon Barkley's such a stud as well. But Daniel Jones, he's kind of like a Jalen Hurts. They weren't expecting much from him. He's just one of those guys, right? But man, he's making it happen. You can't be mad at the guy. So congratulations for the New York Giants. I used to, when I lived in an apartment back in the day, when I first, got with my wife back in the day, she was my girlfriend and we lived together, and there was a huge just New York. I'm talking about the steering wheel cover was New York Giants. Leather wallet was New York Giants.
That's all funny.
Shot glasses, everything was New York Giants, man. Every time the New York Giants, I see them play, I always think of that dude, and just,
nice.
I know he's over there happy as hell if he's still alive somewhere. So, yeah.
So going to these games, and then we also can't forget about the rematch from a few weeks ago when DeMar Hamlin got hurt and the game was canceled. Now it's pretty much a rematch with the Cincinnati Bengals visiting Buffalo Bills. Right now, Buffalo Bills are sitting at a 5-point favorite. As far as a gambling perspective, I don't know if you want to go money line or spreads. Like, what are you thinking about these 4 games? Obviously, we can give our picks out because, we don't have anybody to listen for a pool. Congratulations to you, sir. You weren't here last week, but congrats to your face on winning our
Thank you.
our pool. Great 3-1 3-1.
Almost a wire to wire win,
Right.
but I think Lurk Boys got me on a couple weeks there, taking the lead, pulling ahead. But it was neck and neck, and man, it was just a fun contest. Thank you to everybody that participated.
Right.
Congratulations to all the winners, Lurk Boys, your gear, your $100, and just we want to grow contests, make them bigger, but we need more participants. So keep sharing, man, like vicious.
Hell yeah! So. I would say for Saturday's game, I don't know. I don't like taking a lot of points, in these playoff games, and it's going to be raining. It looks like 40 degrees and a chance of rain. We will see on Sports Advisors what Hannah gives for her weather report. But I will say that I'm liking the Jaguars to at least cover 8.5. And unfortunately,
that's funny.
And unfortunately,
that's the one dog that I don't like. I was just looking at the board and I'm like, man, I kind of like every single dog except for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
And
man.
You know what? You can make a case for that. I will say that I like 2 dogs and 2 favorites. I like the Jaguars. I like, actually, even though it's a division game, Jalen Hurts is coming back probably fully healthy or at least closer to it. I like the Eagles, unfortunately, for the Giants fans out there. I do like the Eagles at home to cover 7.5. I like Smokin' Joe Burrow to at least cover the 5 points on the road against Buffalo. But unfortunately for you and a couple of our friends that are Cowboys fans, the 49ers are going to cover that spread. The 49ers are going to win by at least 7 or 10, I think. It's just they've been playing too damn good. I just
okay.
I know how this goes.
With you on that.
I'll be in the great, I'll be in Disneyland Park for Super Bowl Sunday. So I might not be watching the 49ers be playing.
We them boys.
Right? What do you think?
I'll go with the man. You know what? I do Buffalo, man, I don't know what it is with Buffalo. I think even before the DeMar Hamlin thing, they've had, kind of their struggles. Man, I don't know. That's a tough game. It's in Buffalo, right. But I think that Cincinnati can hang with that number if we're talking strictly gambling. I think they can. If it comes to, I think that Buffalo has a lot to play for.
Right.
I think that, just luck is on their side right now. DeMar's on their side, DIFD, do it for DeMar.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I think that they could probably get the money line win. If I could see this if I can see this spread trickle more towards 9, I'd be inclined to want to take the Bengals here. But it's tough, man. It's tough because I kind of like Joe Burrow more than Allen as a quarterback.
Right.
I just think that
33 degrees and cloudy. So if any of those clouds are rain clouds, you're getting into the snow area. So
that is true. But I don't know, man. It's tough. A spread, I'd probably have to go with Bengals. Maybe, money line, I'd have to go with Bills there. Right. Niners, like I said, I like Buffalo here. If I can get 4, I'd definitely be looking at that. Yeah, I'm sorry, but yeah, Dallas, excuse me. And then New York Giants, 7.5. It's intriguing as well. Like I said, I like most of the dogs besides Jacksonville. I just think Kansas City with a week to prepare. Although Doug Peterson is, he can be a magician at times. Mm-hmm. You saw him, obviously wheel that team back after halftime, and Trevor Lawrence obviously did too, but. I don't know if Trevor Lawrence has what it takes to go into Kansas City and beat this Mahomes team. Right. It's going to be kind of tough. That's why I kind of like Kansas City as a favorite there. But
because
tough.
Because it's rainy too. So look for Mahomes to run. In Kansas City. Look for the young running back Pacheco to catch some balls out of the backfield and just make plays. Slip and slide if it's going to be that rainy. So
the thing with New York Giants also, Mike, is this guy Daniel Jones has a road win under his belt now. Right. You got Jalen Hurts with the week off. Sometimes when teams are gelling, and like you said, Hurts hasn't even been playing, bro. Right. So could he come back rusty with Daniel Jones, kind of being on his game at 7.5? Man.
No, it's very true. And you know what? look at these look at these away records. You know, like Jacksonville was 4-5 away from home this year. The Giants were 500 at 4-4. The Cowboys this year were 4-4 away from Dallas. The Bengals were the only team who had a winning record. They were 6-3 away from Cincinnati. So, yeah, like we will see what these teams who didn't fare well on the road in the regular season fare in the playoffs.
I never noticed that until now. Now that we have a 17-game schedule and it's not even anymore, some teams have more road games and some teams have more. I
think they even it out. I think next year Jacksonville will have one more home game. I think they even it out.
Yeah.
Well,
I hope so.
Well, Jacksonville.
The Raiders will probably have one more road game for the rest of their existence.
Well, Jaguars. I think Jaguars will always have one less home game. Over there in England.
London.
Yeah. So, okay. So going for the NFL. So good luck to all these teams. Good luck to us and our picks. So yeah, let's do it. Let's a little bit of EPL.
Speaking of England.
Man, that game. Thank God it started at 4:30 because any game that starts after 4:30, like 4:30 now, surprisingly, is a good time during the end of the week for these Premier League games for me because I'm still at work. 4:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, I'm at work at the beginning of the game, and by the time I get out at 6 and get home, like I was pulling into my driveway, and the final horn went, and Manchester United beat Manchester City 2-1, putting them 1 point closer to Manchester City for second place, and I think they're still, 8 or 9 points behind Arsenal, though. So, but I think they have a game in hand, so it's going to be a very, very interesting second half to the season, I will say.
It is. And definitely, man, I like that. Manchester United 1 point behind Manchester City, like you said, albeit they are 9 points behind.
And Manchester United was Arsenal's one loss too. I went back to the schedule. I was like, that's right. Manchester United was the only team to beat Arsenal, with them sitting at 15, 2 draws and 1 loss. Crazy.
Look at Liverpool falling back after that ugly, ugly defeat. They lost 3-0 to the Seagulls.
Brighton and Hove Albion.
They did. Although they did get a win today, I believe in this FA Cup, the third round. Okay. They beat the Wolves. So, but Liverpool is just not up to form.
The Wolves are no longer in relegation. They're 2 points clear of relegation, with West Ham United, Everton, and Southampton all sitting at 15 points. Everton, that was a scary thing. They told the board members to stay away from the stadium the one game on Saturday because there was actual legit threats against their lives and their safety. It's pretty crazy.
Really?
Yeah. There's a big mob of people outside the stadium saying "sack the board," like fire the board. So yeah.
I didn't see that one, Mike. But big ups to Arsenal. They've had a couple down years lately,
right?
So this is why we love the EPL, the Premier League. This is why England is one of the most competitive leagues, because you have a year or two down, but here Arsenal is 8 points clear from first place, and obviously this year has just been crazy, man. Within the EPL, within Argentina winning that World Cup, and how crazy it was to play it in the middle of the winter right before Christmas, and it's weird because you got Liverpool wants to sell, you got Manchester United kind of up for sale. Right. You got just so many moving parts here. You got Ronaldo getting fired on his day off while he wasn't, while he was in Qatar. What's that main city there in Qatar?
Dubai?
Daho. Oh, not Dubai. It's
I don't know.
Some other city, whatever. But yeah, got fired on his day off and whatnot. It's just so many moving parts. So to see Manchester United doing much better after getting rid of the AKA cancer, if you will,
right?
He's out there making a lot of money in Saudi Arabia now. But I like to see Tottenham. They obviously lost that derby to Arsenal over the weekend as well. Fulham, Mr. Jaguar, I'm sure he's excited because his team is sitting now here in sixth place, and his Jaguars are also going to the AFC divisional round. So Yeah, just
it's gonna be good.
Chelsea.
Yeah, it's gonna be good end of the
Chelsea
season.
Chelsea and Liverpool both with 28 points, or two of the big six that are struggling. Chelsea tries to make a move to acquire Felix from Atletico Madrid on loan for the rest of the year.
Right.
He comes out and makes a big mistake, gets like a red card, I think, kind of goes high on some guy and just excuse me. Not that's how disgusted I am. Joao Felix,
right.
but not a good look for him in his Chelsea outing. So, the Blues and the Reds, how fitting is that? Are the ones that are both struggling from the big six. But
and what's funny
big
is,
ups to Arsenal and Manchester United.
Yeah, what's funny is that they play each other. Liverpool are at home against Chelsea this Saturday, the 21st. And no, this is just EPL matchups. I know they have FA Cup and other things.
Mm-hmm.
But tomorrow, Manchester United they go to London and face Crystal Palace over at noon. See, that's the time that sucks. Is like
those are the ESPN Plus games as well,
right,
correct?
So it's at noon, and that's the time on my first work day of the week where I tried to take a shower, shave my head and stuff, and then take a nap in the afternoon. So I'm gonna freaking miss that game. Well, actually, if it's ESPN Plus, I'll miss it anyways. Manchester City at home against Dave Portnoy's own Tottenham Hotspur. That's on Thursday the 19th, and then rounding out the week again, Arsenal is at home against Manchester United for the second matchup, and that's at 8:30 a.m. So again, a game that I'm going to freaking
and shout
miss.
out Marcus Rashford. He's been doing real good for you guys as well.
Right, like a
like
goal
that.
in 8 or 9 straight games, and that was after they benched the coach benched him, or at least started him on the bench for 2 straight games for missing or at least being late to a team meeting. So pretty awesome. So from the English Premier League, and you know what, folks, I'm going to say this once. I did not know the reason why Mark did this, okay? I thought, he said, I was seeing it all on Twitter and stuff, but I was like, no. It's just one man did this to Mark. Wiz Khalifa, being the person that's going to perform at the Busch Light Clash, was the reason that our very own Mark is going to be at the Busch Light Clash at the LA Coliseum on Sunday, February 5th. We are super excited for him. The only reason why I'm not going is because I'll be down there the very next weekend at Disneyland. So, Mark, we're all excited for you. Hopefully you can meet some people and, shoot some videos, take some pics, and, tweets and do all that kind of stuff. But at the core of it, enjoy that damn race. That's going to be awesome.
To tell you the truth, I don't know if I have to give a shout out or basically, say this was part of NASCAR's marketing team to market on Twitter, platform that's so dear and near to my heart since 2009. Probably like the first. I never had MySpace or Facebook. Twitter was actually like the first social media that I ever really started dealing with back in the day, and I've been, using it a lot, and I just kept seeing the damn promotions for it. NASCAR 75th year. Just a Busch Clash. And I remember talking about it a couple months ago to you that it'd be kind of cool to go to, since it's like, for one, middle of LA Coliseum, never been there. Short track. I think it's going to be so cool to hear all that power on such a small, compacted, like Coliseum, like Bristol type of speedway, right? Just so small. And it's like, so I'm kind of killing all these birds with one stone, right? Small track, LA, first time at the LA Coliseum, third time about to see Wiz Khalifa. So that's not my first,
that's
but
cool.
That's just throwing it in there. And I think it's just going to be real cool, man. And it's prime time this year. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Mike, you might be able to remember it, but I think last year the race started maybe around 1 or 2
it was in the afternoon.
Pacific Standard. So this time it's going to be on Sunday, and it's going to be, I think, 4 or 5 Pacific Standard.
Right.
So 7 or 8 Eastern.
For sure.
Straight prime time on Sunday night, because remember, the Clash is that week before the NFC and AFC playoffs, championships, and then between the Super Bowl, that week in between where there's nothing.
Right.
So there's going to be nothing on that Sunday besides maybe some Laker game, NBA game.
Very true.
NASCAR decided to go straight prime time. So we're going to get, it's going to be under the lights, if I'm not mistaken.
Probably. Yeah, because last year when Joey Logano won that race, when he said, "Oh, I gotta go because I'm gonna have my baby," or what? Remember, because his wife was giving birth, she was like in the hospital.
Yes.
If you watch that Chase for the Championship or whatever show on USA, she was like in the hospital about to give birth to the baby. It was still like slightly sunny, like the sun was starting to go down. So you're right, it did start like noon or 1 o'clock. So I mean, for a 4 o'clock start, damn, over half the race is gonna be under the lights. Like sundown over here on the West Coast is like before 5:30, like 5:15, 5:20.
And another thing about this race is that it's kind of like the perfect race to maybe get like a beginner NASCAR fan into it, because it's like an exhibition, right? Because it's not that long. It's short. There's a little halftime. So, man, I think NASCAR is just doing it perfectly now, right? You just have like short little race, halftime, have Wiz Khalifa perform, going to the night. It's like 2 hours probably, not, about 2 hours, not like the normal 3 to 4 hour regular 400 or 400 mile race that you would normally have. So it's just something that I felt like I have to do it, right? I don't know if they're going to keep doing this at the LA Coliseum year after year. I also didn't think they were going to keep doing the same, packing the dirt at Bristol to do a dirt race every damn year. I thought that would have been kind of expensive, but here they are keep doing it. So maybe they will keep doing the Clash there, So, but I said, maybe if they don't keep doing it, this is could be my last time to try to, get out there and do something new. I'm a huge NASCAR fan, and I'm excited, man.
Because of course, if they are successful again in viewership, ticket sales, and just then I think other cities who don't even have a race on the schedule might fight for the Clash next year, right? Like along with LA. True. So if it is the last year, you'll be there. We hope you have a great time, and just like you'll know the experience and like the environment and the vibe of the stadium and people packed in there. So hopefully it's thousands and thousands of people having a great time, and we can't wait to hear it. I think it's going to be you're going to let us know on our Super Bowl preview show. You're going to be going the 5th. We will record like 2 days later on the 7th to preview the Super Bowl. And it's going to be an awesome time.
That's right. Because I'll be probably driving back on the 6th. You're right.
Right. So we'll probably do Tuesday. And then I'm out Friday to down there to go to Disneyland. It's going to be an awesome, like 5-day span of talking.
It's going to be a great February.
Mm-hmm, absolutely. So that
Cupid's month.
That's right. And my wife's birthday, my mom's birthday. Big month for me.
Daytona.
There you go. That's all I needed to hear, right? And and the birthdays, right? Yeah, birthdays too. Yeah. Okay, so that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for tuning in to episode 174. Mr. Mark, take us away, brother.
Thank you, man. Just kind of hit on a quick little sports. Like I mentioned, man, college is over. Basketball's coming up, but we don't really get into that much until March. But just exciting times, man, with these playoffs going on. NASCAR's about to, get going again, like we just mentioned with the Clash. But before that, we also got the 24-hour of Rolex coming up, which is a great race. You guys can tune into that. Just 24 hours of straight racing all night, different classes, different cars, sports cars. So your WeatherTech, IMSA, just great racing there. I love to check that out. It's kind of a precursor to the NASCAR season every year to me, and the racing season in general, because I really do love all racing. But yeah, man, just great times. We're going to preview the NBA next week, probably, I'm sure. Thank you for your hockey preview or your hockey review last week with Sean, Mike. That was great. But thank you to all the fans that have been checking in. Thank you for everybody that's been coming onto YouTube and just checking out Mike's shorts and just 12 books that we're giving away and the contest that we're doing and just all of the content that we're trying to bring to you guys, and all the love and just support that we get from you guys is why we do it, to keep trying to preview these books, help you guys get a better understanding on something that you guys might want to read, something that you guys might want to get into, or your kids. So just keep tuning into us. Ask us if you guys want any of us to review anything or check out anything, and just just keep on letting us know how you feel. And thank you guys, and keep enjoying the football this season. Keep enjoying the rest of it, and the EPL, and that your team does good. And always check us out at the Comic Bookies on all social media, thecomicbookies@gmail.com. If you want to write us an email, get in touch with us that way, and be on the lookout on the 30th. We are going to be live with one of our favorite guys, Parallel's own Mr. Jason Douglas from Source Point Press. We will be interviewing him, fan favorite. And yeah, just keep sharing us, keep spreading the love, and keep making them bets, making them money, and reading them books. But thank you guys. It's been 174. Thank you, Mike. It's been really fun. I can't wait to get back to it again next week. We love you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Just want to shout out some of the the areas that have been downloading us. And first, before I get into that, thank you so much for pointing out Jason Douglas. It's going to be and he's one of the few guys who we can have on for a whole episode. We're going to be talking comics, we're going to be talking sports, probably NBA mostly, but he's just a
Michigan,
he's just a great
Detroit
one.
Pistons.
And it's going to be an earlier episode, so whether we do it Monday the 30th or Tuesday the 31st or however the dates fall, it's going to be around 6 to 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, so that way we can give him, who lives in Michigan, he's not up until midnight, 1 o'clock. But Mark, we have another country to add to the passport, my brother.
Bam,
Our allies.
Stamp us.
Our allies to the south, Mexico. First ever time someone from Mexico has downloaded us, so thank you so much for the support from down there in Mexico.
Viva la.
And as far as our top 5 most downloaded areas over the last couple weeks, excuse me, San Francisco Bay Area and the Valley out here in California sit atop the 2. Orlando, Daytona Beach, down there in Florida, come in at number 3. And up there in Oregon, Medford, Klamath Falls, New York. So coast to coast, again, as usual. Thank you so much for the support. We can't wait to see you in episode 175. After that one, we only have 25 left until the big 200. So for Sean, who's going to be back next week, and that's Mark, my name is Mike. This has been the Comic Bookies Podcast. Thank you so much for watching on YouTube or listening wherever you listen. Enjoy the sports, enjoy the comics, and enjoy the hell out of each other. Good luck in the divisional playoffs, y'all.
Peace, and always enjoy each other. And I hope everybody is enjoying the new year and the new beginning, because trust me, spring is right around the corner. Peace and good luck to everybody's team. We love you. TCB, baby.